Last night we went to Westonbirt for their Christmas lit up trail of trees. It's a place not very far away from here, and it's got lots and lots of trees, and every Christmas they light up some, and they have little elves doing little things over here, and they have talking trees and things like that. It's quite fun as you go around when it's dark. It's really quite fun. And one of the things we saw when we were there was this. And as we came up to it, we sort of went a little bit faster, and we could see other people around us going a little bit faster so as to be able to see it more clearly. And we got there, and it was beautiful. And look at all those lights shining around. And we looked, and we were amazed, and people gathered, and it was beautiful. And then we went on. Now, I know something which perhaps not many people there do know, which is that that beautiful light isn't a light at all. And I know this because we went a few days earlier to Westonbirt and we saw them setting up the whole thing. So I know that that thing is actually a glitter ball. It's not the light. Everybody was going, oh, look at that light. It's not a light. It's just reflecting the light. Do you know what? I didn't even see the light. I think quite a lot of people went away without seeing the actual light. And I think that's a little bit what we hear about in our passage today from John. It says, do you know what? John wasn't the light, but he came to witness to the light, sort of point to the light. And what you see is there's John the Baptist there in the desert, and he was baptizing people, and he was preaching, and he was saying, you need to turn away from your things that you're doing wrong, you need to turn back to God. And people were hearing about all his preaching, they were hearing about his baptizing, they were all coming along like crowds to see him and to hear about him. Said, oh, wow, they said, who are you? Who are you? And he didn't say, oh, well, you know, I'm quite a good preacher, actually. They said, are you the prophet? No. He said, are you Elijah? These are people who are meant to come perhaps before the Messiah was going to come. And he said, no. He said, I am the voice. I'm the voice of one saying, prepare the way for the Lord. He wasn't going to start getting involved and saying, oh, well, you know, yeah, I'm quite a good preacher. Oh, yes, I'm quite a good baptizer. Do you want me to baptize you? No, he was just there to point people to Jesus. He wasn't the light, but he was pointing to the light. That glitter ball that we saw wasn't the light, but people were coming flocking to it because it was so beautiful and so attractive, and many people never realised there was a light behind there. And I wonder whether many people came and saw John the Baptist and they kind of got stuck there. They didn't know that there was somebody else that he was pointing to. They weren't particularly interested. They'd come to see their lovely show, and then they went off again. And I think there's two things we need to remember from this. And one is that we need to be really careful that we don't get stuck at the glitter and the show, but that actually we look behind that. So when we come to church or when we celebrate Christmas, we do all these things that we're talking about Jesus a lot. Around Christmas, we talk about his being born, and we're celebrating that. But we don't get stuck at. We actually need to remember: are we going behind that and meeting Jesus and getting to know Jesus more and becoming more and more of a close friend with Jesus, or do we get stuck at the sort of things which are pointing to Jesus? That's one thing. And the other thing is that just like John, we're also called to be pointing towards Jesus. And just like John, we should be as clear a pointer as we can to Jesus, so that when people see us, they see something which will point them straight on to Jesus. Yes, we may have a little bit of light, but that light should be pointing people towards the real light, the true light. Right, well, what we're going to do now is we are going to do a very quick, very simple craft activity. We've been thinking about John the Baptist pointing to Jesus as the light. And we're going to do a very simple card, a Christmas card, that you can send to people, which is another way of showing a light, actually a light that pointed to Jesus, and that's the star that stopped over the house where Jesus was. I'll show you how to do it. You need a piece of card or paper, you need a black pen and a yellow pen. And first of all, what we'll do is we will draw the house. The way we'll do that is we will do 2 lines like that. We'll do the roof over it. Inside, you draw a little X like that. That's going to be a simple way of drawing the manger or the crib. A little head for the baby Jesus. That's the end of the black pen. Take the yellow one, or the yellow one. I'm just going to draw a little star, like that. Very simple little Christmas card. It won't take you very long, and that you can send to your friends and to your family.